G'day SRL and welcome to your Monday Night Football 7 p.m. top 8 clash with the second place Bunnies hosting the sixth place Milk. Both teams very keen to lock up their positions in the top 8 as we approach the halfway mark of the season. I'm Blair Curtin here at Accor Stadium, and with me in the commentary box is the man himself, Daniel Hellyer. Danny, how do you see this game playing out?
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great clash between these two teams. Obviously, the Raiders, they've gone to a very hot start to this season. If I'm correct here, they are in second right now. So, great start for them this season. And the Bunnies, I'm not sure where they are. They're in second. And the Raiders are not coming up on my ladder, but
They're
somewhere
in
there.
sixth.
They're in sixth. So top 8 clash.
Top 8 clash indeed. As Ryan Willamette, South Sydney captain, tees us up to get us underway. And the referee blows his whistle and we're off. Canberra receiving the first kick and it hits the crossbar. We've got a live hand grenade in the in-goal, but Riley Flynn comes up with something a little bit special in what was a very dangerous situation. Caval moving it up towards the 20, but pulled down 17 metres out from his own line. Tim James, the halfback, goes into dummy half and dishes it out to his partner in crime, Luke Thompson. But Luke, unable to make a huge gain there, comes onto the forwards for a hit up for a change. That's a better player, Mitch Barnes, as Tim James scoots out of dummy half, crosses the 40, but it's the end of the set and only one of the halves are in position to take the kick. And it goes to Godwin, the winger. He somehow doesn't get pulled up for an offside penalty. And Danny, can you run us through what happened there?
So the positions are mixed up. There's a bit of a Rugby League 26 glitch going around as usual, where all the play positions are really mixed up at the moment, but I assure you he was playing half there, not winger.
Okay, so now that I pull up the team sheet, I can see that Godwin is 6, Thompson is 7, and Timoteo James is actually 9, despite the jerseys they're wearing. As we see a fumble there, Papadopoulos offloads it to Lowe. Lowe drives forward very well. Almost the end of the set as Corey Bell scoots out of dummy half and gets pulled down 15 metres out. Good chance for an attacking kick here for South Sydney, but surely you feel they could have got a little bit closer. It grubbers, it comes off a Raider, it's not played at, it's still last. And in a strange turn of events, a no 6 again call goes Canberra's way, as Lucas Syed absolutely gives someone on the South Sydney side of the treatment. I don't know how much I can trust jersey numbers at this stage, Danny.
As we say, held and tackle penalty, that's some poor discipline there. I wouldn't trust the jersey numbers too much, but you could sort of, I guess, recognise a few players there. You'd know their positions. Arnworth takes a run.
Yeah. A bit of a wasted set there from South Sydney previously, you'd have to say. They were given great field position and just didn't really do all that much with it. As Godwin steps into dummy half, hands it inside to Flynn, the fullback in the number 9 jersey. Strange happenings in the Raiders jersey department this week. Comes on to Thompson. Thompson wrestles with the forwards. It's fourth tackle. Where does it go? It goes left onto Caval. Caval absolutely hammers at the front door. You almost think he was Matt Lodge. It's last tackle. It goes back to Thompson. Thompson grubber. South Sydney missed it the first time, but they have somehow got out of jail there as Coleman trucks it up almost to the 10-metre line. Well, much more enterprising there from that set from the Raiders there, wouldn't you say, Danny?
Yeah, definitely. The Raiders, great kick there on the last, just didn't find its man, and good take from Coleman, managing to get out of the in-goal there.
Absolutely, as we see Corey Bell takes a bit of time to get into position at dummy half, goes 2 out to Papadopoulos, brought down there, 32 metres out. They're going for the 40-20. No, they're not. The halfback has decided to have a little bit of a scoot himself, a hit up at the line. His last tackle now, they've only made 30 metres. It goes back to Dylan Murray. Murray puts in a big thumping kick, but Tallis Rift takes it and runs it almost all the way back to halfway. Great defensive intent from Canberra in that last set, Danny.
Yeah, the Raiders doing everything right in defense and attack. They're muscling up their field now. They get another 6 again. The South Sydney, they're on the ropes here, and oh, that is not a good pass.
Oh, it most certainly is not. All of that pressure has just been absolutely let go as Fingers kill the Milk's momentum. Low, trucking it up. 32 metres out, it's only first tackle. What can South do with the full set of 6 here? Onto crazy Kevin Dixon. Dixon knocked down 28 metres out. Corey Bell sees something there in dummy half and makes a handy 15 odd metres. As Wilmette also decides he sees something out of dummy half, but not quite sure what he saw. Coleman onto Freeburn. Freeburn absolutely hammered in that tackle there to Canberra edge defenders. Its last tackle. Can Souths do a little better than they did their last set? No, not really. It's a double knock on. The ball, Canberra. Danny, what does Souths need to do here to sort of bring their attacking and set game into it?
Yeah, I think the halves need to be kicking better. Obviously, they messed up both kicks there, and you know, it was a pretty bad set from them, to be honest. That looked pretty flat. I think they just need to get that end of set kicking straight, and then you know they're gonna have a lot more opportunities to score tries.
Well, that's definitely true, as we see the 40-20 attempt, but it's not a very good one. Coleman comes up with it, and South Sydney going to start 42 metres out. Comes back to Walmsley, onto Van Meriton, onto Willamette, but Willamette well read by the defence. They read him like a book. Corey Bell goes out to his halfback, onto the 5'8 Coleman, and we're halfway through the set, and South have made 0 metres, or possibly even negative metres. Walmsley onto Drycolon, and we're at 4th tackle. I'm still pretty sure we're at negative metres for the set. South Sydney need to respect the middle of the field more and make some metres, and we finally see the set getting to positive metres. Its last tackle, 9 metres gained. Not a great one for South, you'd have to say. Bell goes back to Coleman. Coleman goes deep. It's really his only option, and Flynn, the mercurial fullback, takes the ball, trucks it out to the 12-metre line. Danny, what was South doing in that set?
Yeah, I don't know. They just weren't doing much with it, and eventually they had to force the punt, and now the Raiders gonna have to work it out their red zone, and they're doing it quite well here. The Rabbits really need to get on the game because so far the Raiders look the much better side. Definitely
Raiders looking stronger, but there was one saving grace in that last set from South Sydney. It was the kick.
Whoa.
As Ranger Rage drops the ball in a tackle, he'll be furious at himself. Walmsley plays the ball and it comes out to Coleman, and South Sydney have yet another attacking chance. Hopefully they can run it straight in the first couple of tackles here to make some metres. Corey Bell watches it for a while, goes short side, onto Murray, onto his halfback, onto Luca Magic. Luca, he's absolutely duking it out with his opposite number there. He's wearing the same number as him, funnily enough. Corey Bell, very flat ball to the halfback. Onto the prop 4, Papalopoulos. Or something like that anyway. Corey Bell goes short side again. Seems to like this right-hand play. It goes on to Magic. Magic steps. Magic swerves. And he has pulled a rabbit out of the hat to get the ball down. That is a try. Absolute magic from the Bunnies and Luca himself. Danny, run us through the play.
Yeah, beautiful set play to the right there. The halves just getting it straight into Wilmot's hands, and one-on-one, he just beats his defender, gets the pass along to Magic, and Magic still with a lot of work to do there. Just great finish from him, getting past one and pushing his way over for the first points of this match.
As Willamette misses a very tough chance to the right of the posts. Rifle kicker, of course, not his preferred side. And we'll see play resumed by Canberra. Godwin with the kicking duties for the night. Despite that jersey number, I assure you he is the 5'8", not the number 5. Gets us back underway. Deep kickoff. This one doesn't hit the crossbar, but it's fumbled off hands. It's all gone backwards, says the referee. And Josh Butterfield works it back out to the 15, saving South Sydney's blushes. Corey Bell outside to Low. Low wrestled down, makes another 10 metres. Excellent work there. A lot of them post-contact. Dixon gets it on faster Battlefield. Not so many metres in this tackle. Plays the ball. 28 metres out. Goes short side. On the left this time. Onto Freeburn. Freeburn tries to step, but no one's buying the candy. As we get to fourth tackle. Coleman, good short ball there to Walmsley. End of the set after points. It's fifth and tackle. That is a lot more than 0 metres gained, RL26. We see Coleman take the kick. Not the deepest of kicks as it goes to Riley Flynn, but an excellent chase. Again, South saving their blushes. Danny, what's your thought on that set after points?
Yeah, I thought it was a great set there from the Bunnies. Obviously, they weren't looking too hot at the start of the game, but they've warmed up into the match, and you know, after their points, put a very solid set together.
Yeah, Canberra looked a lot hungrier early on, you've got to say, but now the Bunnies, they're looking in the mood, and they're absolutely duking it out with Canberra here. Fifth tackle, only 40 metres gained to Godwin. I don't know how that is not an offside, but it will be a handover, and South's going to get the ball 38 metres out from their line. Bell goes short side on the right again. They've gone to the try scorer, Luka Magic. Flirts with the touchline, but stays in the field of play. Bell dishes it out to Willamette. Willamette straight through the line, slices through, but pulled down by Riley Flynn. Riley, they go short side again. Luka Magic. Little break there before being brought down by the Canberra defence. Comes onto Low. Rucking it up the middle now. Fourth tackle. You think they might go for another settler here. No, they go short side again. They want Luca again. Luca's through again. Luca's goking it out with Riley, and will be pulled down 2 metres short of the line. Let's see where the kick goes here. South's a beautiful grubber, but it's Mitch Barnes. Mitch Barnes. Absolutely silky smooth hands. I want him in the slip court and at the 6s, and he brings it back to the 10. Danny, it's a tough old game for South Sydney at the moment.
Oh, maybe not.
Maybe not indeed, as we see the subs. Come on. So, for South Sydney, those two subs should be Mike Tyson and Dylan Sharp, while for Canberra, it should be CM Barker and Rangirange, but I think we've seen him on the field already. So we'll see what's happening there as that goes up, no try. And we see Walmsley very comfortably rolled onto his back. Not quite sure why the referee needed a second look at that, but it's tradition in the game at this stage. No try, back to the 10 metres. Halfway through the set, Bell throws off one, dives in. That is an absolutely... oh, what happened there?
I've got no clue what's happened there.
Did a Canberra player maybe somehow strip the ball and ground it first? I don't know what happened. That was a try for mine for all money, so... unless there's been a referee brain explosion, gone blind. And we see a knock on.
What's happening?
Looks like it's going to be one of those games, so...
Bear with us.
This should be fun, as it comes to Walmsley in the centre of the field.
Rangirange hasn't come on yet. He's right there, the big bold head.
Oh, okay. I've got him in the 15 jersey, but I could have sworn I saw him in the 3. As Dixon, he's officially short, but he's over the line at the moment. The referee doesn't send that one upstairs. Mike Tyson gets wrestled there by the defence. 5 metres out, they go deep. It's another grubber. It's a nasty looking one. Joshua Lowe has wrestled his way over the line, but up and back. Danny, can you help me make sense of the last couple of minutes of football we've seen here?
So basically for the last 5 minutes, Rugby League Live 26 hasn't decided who it wants to win. So, you know, it's just being weird.
Well, weirdness can certainly be entertaining as Nicholas Either, great teammate, great man in the clubhouse, trucks it up. Cheeky little inside ball from Thompson. Sorry.
You know what would be great for something weird to happen? I reckon a backwards kick.
Well, we all love a backward kick in the SRL, especially the one where the winger gets it and runs like 80 metres to score. That's the best backwards kick. As
Or
Mike
the one
Tyson,
that goes straight into the end zone, and it's a dropout.
Well, it'd be a dropout. Yes, that's a very entertaining one too. Dylan Sharp pulled down 20 metres out, halfway in the tram tracks. Dishes back inside, half onto his 5'8" Coleman. Coleman wrestles with the forward some more. His favourite pass in the SRL. As Bell dishes out to Tyson. Tyson goes one-on-one. I think that's with his opposite number. It's Bell, it's last tackle. It's been knocked loose. Barnes is away. Hunt has broken 1. He's broken 2. He's broken 3. He's absolutely steaming through. Mitchell Barnes put that ball down. What a try. A 100-metre effort from the lock forward. I don't think that was in this week's SRL bet, but what a run. Mitchell Barnes, take a bow. It is now 6-4 with a very, very easy kick to come.
Well,
Danny, what is this game?
That might have been the most insane try I think I've seen so far in SRL 2.0. I don't think you get better than that.
I think it's my favourite try to have called since I called Ollie Parche's first back in SRL 1.0. Oh, sorry, that is actually 6-4, of course, because Willamette missed the first kick as Godwin adds the extras. Ryan Willamette.
Mitch Barnes, he is some player.
He is absolutely some player. He does deserve some raps. Talkative in SRL chat as well, if memory serves, so you've definitely got something to talk about this evening. Willamette goes deep to Riley Flynn, fullback on fullback action. Not that you know from the jersey numbers, brought down by Corey Bell, and the ball gets dished off. Just at least. They go short side, left-hand side, Tenavisi Barnes in his captain's number 1 jersey. Perhaps a sign of a promising youngster. Brought down 38 metres out. It's onto Martin. Martin gets it onto Barker. Barker gets it on, but it's been hijacked by the little South Sydney halfback. South's ball. Danny, what does one of these teams need to do to actually win the game from here?
You know, keeping the ball tucked in your chest would be a start for both teams. But, yeah, I'd say just a bit of ball security, a bit of tactical, I guess, tactical play, you know, not trying to go for that risky play. And I think both teams definitely in this game, and it's probably anyone's to win.
Oh, only 2 points in as we see the ball go deep to Coleman. Coleman kicks very, very deep. It's in the corner. It's allowed to bounce by Flynn, but Flynn trucks it back nicely. I'd have to say, Danny, neither team seems to really be respecting the ball a huge amount at the moment, and not respecting the ruck a huge amount at the moment, and they're not respecting the defensive line either. You see a lot of sideways lateral play, but you're really not seeing a lot of trucking it up through the middle as Mitch Barnes starts to prove me wrong.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams just, yeah, as I said, ball security hasn't been great, and both teams just trying to push their way, trying to like adapt to the refereeing today. You know, a lot of penalties have been, or penalties slash 6 against have been blown so far, and oh, that's a terrible kick.
That is not the kick you want from your half. Someone take that man's kicking licence. As South Sydney start 20 metres out, long looping ball through to Kevin Dixon. But also, when we saw Mitch Barnes just take it up through the middle as Corey Bell scoots through, he wants the try that he was denied the first time around, not even sent up to the bunker by the referee, just called Canberra dropout. As Mike Tyson, he's rolled onto his back. Referee decides that one needs to go to the bunker though. It goes up no try, and he's flipped on his back, so it'll be back to the 10. Four tackles down, 6 minutes to go in the first half. South score first, but miss their conversion, letting Canberra get back in front 6-4. 2 metres out. What do Souths do here? They go back to their half, their 5-8. Little grubber, live grenade in goal, but it's Riley Flynn safe at the back there, trucks it out. Timoteo James gets it onto Barnes. Barnes, absolutely valuable player. If you called this game at halftime, you'd have to consider 3 MVP points. Ranga Raid, deceptively, not a redhead, gets it back out to Barnes. One seems to be flagging a bit though, as James scoots through the middle, takes advantage of an offside marker, but they've only made 30 metres. They're big. It goes back to their halfback Thompson, who absolutely reefs it, and Luka Magic gets it 30 out. He steps through the line, forces Riley Flynn to make a play at him, and South Sydney is starting yet another set inside Canberra territory, Danny.
Oh, and that's a nice fend there from Cope and Walmsley. The Bunnies really, well, they'd really be wanting to put another try on here, you know, get the lead before half time. And yeah, I think that'll probably be the game plan for the next few minutes. Oh, he might get one here.
Willamette with a brilliant little line break, but he is brought down 11 metres out. Corey Bell swings it in, too sharp, onto Tyson. Partner in the bench forwards. They'll be coming off in just a moment. It's last tackle. Goes back to Coleman. Coleman grubbers. It's a nice grubber again. But the Canberra forwards are there again to scoop up the play. And you've got to assume that in the second half, Souths aren't going to be starting every set in Canberra's half. This is going to have to balance up at some point. Momentum shifts and momentum turns. And what are Souths going to do if they're down by 2 now and Canberra start getting that kind of field position?
Yeah, well, I think they're really going to be disappointed that they didn't get points in this period. You know, they probably could have scored 1 or 2 tries here, and it would have given them a great lead to have going into the second half. And you know, second half, it's really anyone's game going in because everyone's fresh. So you know.
Yeah, I mean that's very true, and I mean Canberra haven't been all that much up with the ball either as they fall off the tackle of Joshua Lowe. Joshua keeps pushing. 17 metres out, 24 seconds left to play. Willamette goes left, but Corey Bell goes right onto his long-haired little halfback, whose name I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. It's the last play of the set. It's dished out. Low, he's wrestling, and he's rolled on his back, and that'll be the half. G'day SRL, and welcome back to Homebush, home of the Hares, where South Sydney are hosting Canberra Raiders. Canberra, it's been a tight one, though mostly through mutual agreement, you'd have to say. 6-4 Canberra, Godwin gets away. Danny, anything from the first half you'd like to bring attention to?
Probably Riley Flynn only having 45 run meters with only, 0 line breaks is pretty insane for a fullback. He's been very, very quiet.
As we see a forward pass called, and Canberra going to get some field position early, but very good point about Riley Flynn. Compare and contrast to his opposite fullback and captain, Ryan Warmett, 103 metres at half time. And below 74 himself, excellent work for a man in the scrum pack. But the absolute leader of metres on the field, as we see Arnworth rolled onto his back. A good first half himself with 95 metres. But it was Barnes, Mitchell Barnes, Rocks and Diamonds night, as we see yet another bunker referral. 3 areas, but 161 run metres, though 100 of them all. Try Canberra's nose in front. As we see Canberra dished out wide, going right. It's Caval breaks, half breaks a tackle, but pulled down just a metre out, four tackles down. Thompson dishes it out to Nicholas Either, down in a savage 2-man tackle. It's last. Danny, do they go high or low?
High.
They do, and they go very high. Dylan Murray comes under it, steps one, and somehow manages to not snap his ankles. And South Sydney, Luca Magic pirouettes through the line, pulled a rabbit of his hat, and that's a penalty. Well, the poor discipline in this game continues, doesn't it, Danny?
Yeah, both teams just really hurting themselves. And if they keep doing these silly errors, I mean, it's just making their opponents a whole lot of hell easier in this game. And Rabbits are going to have a really big chance to start this half with points.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. I mean, it's only a misconversion in it. Willamette would be kicking himself if he was to lose by 2 points this evening. There's an interesting little out the back play there to the prop forward, Lopoulos. It's on to Murray. Murray pulled down his 5th tackle, 28 metres out. You think they'll punt here. It's the half. Crossfield punt. It bounces, but it's Thompson there. Takes a beautiful bouncing ball and gets back in the field of play, because I'm pretty sure that it actually crossed the line. And James dishes out to Either half, but ridden down to the ground there by one of the Rabbitohs props. Thompson decides to take a hit up himself. Wants to be a forward. Pulled down right on the 30. James dishes back into the middle of the field. It's Caval. Much more scientific set here from Canberra, or at least much more conventional. As we see the kick, somehow that is not called offside, and South Sydney gets start. Yet another set, and said they couldn't keep doing it in the second half, but it looks like I'm wrong. Another set started in Canberra's half, Danny.
Yeah, and the Rabbits really big opportunity. They only just didn't get points last time, and I think this time got a good chance of grabbing one here. It's very close there.
And perhaps a miss-highlight of the first half, as we see a cheeky little offload there to Dixon. Dixon wrapped up by 3 men. He's called in the field of play, takes 2 steps back, plays it to McDonald. McDonald, a very nice grab from Coleman. The Tallis Riff has come up with that, and he has brought it back into the field of play. He is officially wearing the forward jersey, but on the team list, he is actually the left winger in the number 2. Or sorry, I should say right winger in the number 2. But how big do you think that, you have to call it a de facto no try for Corey Bell, how big of an impact do you think that's going to have on this game, Danny?
Yeah, big impact, With only 2 tries scored in this game, all points are valuable, and you want to be capitalising on your opportunities.
Very true that. It's Barry Barch, who's the redhead, who I think I got confused with Ranger Rage previously. Ranger, of course, is actually bald, as Luke Thompson reefs it back. Freeburn takes it just over 30. Well, South Sydney are finally starting a set in their own half, and let's see what they can do here. Mike Tyson trucking it up. He's big, he's strong, he's angry, he'll bite your ear off. McDonald on for Corey Bell. South opting for a 2-hooker strategy each game. And Coleman dishes it back against Tyson. Tyson taking another hit up. It's 4th tackle, and South haven't really gone anywhere. They've only made 20 metres. He said as Butterfield absolutely has his jersey ironed while he was still wearing it. And Coleman with a dinky little punt over to Talis Riff, who gets wrapped up inside the 10. Danny, what do Canberra need to do to make some metres here?
I think Canberra just need a few big runs. Obviously, Mitch Barnes, he was doing a lot of those hard yards in the first half, but now he's off. Canberra just needs someone to stand up here. I think it's got to be Luke Said or Rahul Kabal.
Luke Sayed, I believe he's actually a distant descendant of Ollie Parche. So hopefully he can channel some of his ancestors. Is this a 2040 attempt? Either way, it doesn't find touch. So South Sydney is starting yet another set halfway out. But very nearly up there, but Butterfield rises up to get it. Starting on the left-hand tram. Willem scything through into the defensive line, but can't make it out the other side. McDonald onto the half. Absolutely crunched in that tackle there. South are going nowhere again as 4 tackles. They've made 10 metres, maybe 12. Willamette pirouettes through the line, but brought down 30 metres out. And South are going to have to punt it again. Are we going to see a 0-0 second half, Danny?
Maybe. I mean, only 15 minutes have passed. But everyone is tipped 1-8. Sure happy going into this round.
I believe I did tip one of the teams 1-8, though I can't remember which.
I think I went every team 1-8 this round. I went Raiders 1-8.
Okay, I think I might have done the same. If I did the same, because it's definitely not looking like a big win this game.
Oh.
As that's been called forward, it was very flat, so probably not the worst call we've seen this game. Ben Meriton takes it up and makes him 1 tackle. What last set Souths needed 4 to. There's Dixon wrapped up there, halfway, 2 tackles down. Coleman decides to hit it up himself into the teeth of Lucas Sayed. 3rd tackle halfway through the set. They go left again. Kevin Dixon just inside the tram tracks. 4th tackle, 32 metres out. McDonald goes for a scoot, but he gets tackled 33 metres out, and it's last. Goes back to Van Meriton. Van Meriton with the big crossfield punt. It's Tenavisi Barnes under it, and Barnes is away, but only to about 25 metres out. 1st tackle. Trucks it up into the defensive line. This seems a bit more of a conventional set so far from Canberra. James runs into an offside marker, decides he doesn't want to keep pushing that offside marker, gets wrapped out 42 metres out, halfway through the set. They go short side to the wing of Tenavisi Barnes. Barnes pulled down, and James crosses the halfway with the scoot. Is going to be pulled down 44 metres out. Its last tackle. Connell gets it on to Godwin. Godwin with the big kick. It looks like it's down Luka Magic's throat. Yes, it is down Luka Magic's throat. And Riley Flynn has to make yet another tackle, Danny. Is this why he's had such a quiet game?
Yeah, Riley Flynn, he just hasn't... He looks pretty fatigued from all the defense has been having to do. So, I think that contributes to why his game's been really quiet today.
I mean, that definitely tracks. Nothing's harder than defence. Having to make a lot of tackles will wear you down quickly. As Coleman goes for the 40-20 attempt. It's long. It's probably would have had the angle, but I don't think it had the legs, and Riley Flynn's on it anyway. Makes about 15 metres there, which is probably just about added a significant portion to his metres gained stat for the game. Godwin pulled down. Connell. Where are the Canberra forwards in attack? Lucas Sayed is calling for the ball every play here, and he has just been ignored, and he's ignored yet again. And Surveyor is absolutely flattened there by South Sydney as Unworth takes us to the end of the set. Sayed is ignored again. I think that's Godwin in the pocket. No, it's Thompson as it gets down to the wing of Freeburn. Freeburn hasn't taken too many returns so far, but he forces Riley Flynn to make another tackle and makes a good 25 metres there, getting South Sydney out of trouble very early set. Danny, bit of an arm wrestle at the moment. Who do you think's going to get the upper hand here?
Yeah, well, I think the Rabbits, they're going to probably get the upper hand here. I think they've just not as gassed. Their players don't look out on their feet, and I think they've got enough to bring it home here. And I just found it interesting that only one player came off for the Rabbits. So, not sure what happened there.
Probably ran out of subs. They only made 2, if memory serves, half time. McDonald on for Bell, and
yeah, I'm not sure. I
Sharp.
only saw one player come off.
Haven't seen much of Finn Manning yet, so be interested to see what's happening there in the subs as James gets wrestled down there. And it's a penalty. Canberra desperately needed that penalty. They're 2 points up, but you could almost feel like it was 12 points down with how each team has squared up against each other so far. Canberra really need to take this opportunity. Starting to set on halfway. Comes to Arnworth, trucks it up. James, he has a bit of a shimmy and a step each way, but South looked on bemused until one of them decided to tackle him. Surveyor gets it on in the prop jersey. This is who Canberra needed. He's looking pretty fresh too. Surveyor gets it onto Arnworth. Arnworth brought down 24 metres out. James, of course, back into dummy half. Thankfully, doesn't go for a run himself, but Thompson decides to. Not a smart play from the half. Going into last tackle. Dishes onto Godwin. Godwin puts the grubber in, takes the line on really well, but it's the halfback again, Ben Meriton, who cleans up the crumbs, and Danny, opportunity's been, as Mike Tyson absolutely belts the Canberra player. Opportunities have been few and far between for Canberra. How much do you reckon they're going to miss that one?
Yeah, well, I think the Canberra really need to execute on that last tackle option, and I think the kick was alright, but it just didn't find the hands. And you know, as the game winds on, I mean, they still have that 2-point lead, but one try and they're behind.
Absolutely. As Tenavisi Barnes gets himself into the game, but he's well met there by South Sydney defence. First tackle, 35 metres out. Canberra haven't really been able to buy metres gained this game. A couple of exceptions, and Mitch Barnes is one of those exceptions. As James gets it onto Thompson. Thompson with the big ball.
Oh.
Good win. And Riley Flynn is absolutely poleaxed in that tackle. I think that was Mike Tyson who absolutely belted him. Thompson gets a very risky offload away to Either. Either's out on his feet. James. And what was that kick? And yet another set starts 30 metres out from the Canberra try line for the Rabbitohs. How much longer can Canberra hold out here, Danny?
Yeah, well, Canberra just on the ropes here. They're going to need a really big effort here to keep Rabbits from scoring to take the lead. So much defensive pressure so far, and surely it's been taking a toll on these players.
I mean, surely it has to, but South have been far from stellar in attack themselves. As you see Manning into the game in the number 16 jersey. I think that's his first touch of the ball. It's last tackle. Coleman, he puts it to the boot again, and there's Willamette There is the South's captain. There is South Sydney in front 8-6 with another very easy kick to come.
Yeah,
Well, Danny, go ahead.
Yeah, South Sydney. I mean, wow, that's the first time I think they've hit the lead since Canberra scored, and that was a while ago. That was about, what'd you say, like 40 or 50? 40, 50 minutes?
28th minute. So 40, yeah.
50. Yeah. So yeah, it's been a long time since either side scored, and well overdue there. Wilmot piercing through the lines. Very good chase on that kick, and yeah, now it's Canberra having to chase the lead here.
Yeah. I mean, it's 4 points. It's 10 minutes on the clock. All rugby league wisdom would tell you that this is very achievable. I just don't know if this Canberra team can achieve it. Do they have enough left in the tank to make this happen? Well, we'll see in a moment as Godwin gets us underway again. It goes to Coleman, who trucks it up himself. Gets about 12 metres out. Brought down. McDonald onto Butterfield. Butterfield onto Willamette. Willamette, they're not letting him through a second time, but it might be one time too late. McDonald again onto Dixon. Dixon struggles to the 20, and they're halfway through the set. Coleman, nice little short ball there to Papadopoulos. Makes it to the 30, 4 tackles down. Dixon again. Dixon running a lot of plays in this set. It's last. Almost made the 40. Do they go for the 40-20 here? Well, it's got the distance, but I don't think it has the angle. And Talistriff's under it to get it back. And almost makes it to the 40. Potentially a good start to the set here, Danny.
Yeah, very good start, and that is not a good start to the set.
It's not. McDonald scoots out a dummy half, takes advantage of an offside marker, makes it to the 30 metres. That's second tackle. Souths are starting yet another set in Canberra territory. Another try here, you'd have to say, would end the game. Points have been an absolute premium so far this match. Gets onto Cologne. Cologne onto Dixon. Dixon takes on the line. He's 11 metres out. McDonald makes the scoot, but he gets it onto Cologne again instead. Cologne pulled down, metre out. And it's Coleman again with another grubber. It's come off feet. And Kevin Dixon's dived on it and done something very strange. Oh no. Riley Flynn has saved Canberra's blushes there, because that pass hit the goalpost, and that really would be a sum up of Lucas Ayed. He's finally given the ball and he makes the meters. Tim James gets it onto Unworth.
Put into the ground there. I think it was Kevin Dixon.
Well, Dixon was out on his feet, so I can't imagine he's tackling very well at the moment as Thompson gets it onto Barnes. Barnes in between the tram tracks. Getting to the back end of the set here, and a cheeky little short side play. But South's defence just aren't having a bar of it. Riff pulled down there. James gets it onto Syed, who takes a kick. Not really what I would have expected, but seems he might have come back on a lock. Freeburn's a safe pair of hands under it though. And for Canberra, they need to force an error now. They need a set starting in South Territory, but they're going to struggle to get it with Willamette breaking the line with the pirouette. Donald thinks about what he wants to do for a moment, and what he wants to do is fend Riley Flynn into next week. Willamette thinks about what he wants to do, and he doesn't want to throw a fend. It's fourth tackle. McDonald and Dixon putting his hand up for a lot of runs, but Riley Flynn's a long way out of position here as he suddenly realises that he's a long way out of position and runs back. Coleman kicks it. Riley Flynn takes it just short of his try line and brings it back to the 20, but he's got nothing in the tank for an attacking play. Pulled down Danny, who needs to step up here.
Oh, it's got to be Tim James, our dummy half. He needs to get the ball to the people who need it here. And yeah, maybe a 40-20 here from one of the halves if they can get in range. Oh, that is not a nice pass.
No, it's not. And Canberra just look out. So many key players. Barnes is drained, James is drained, Martin's been overpowered. It's fifth tackle. They're 35 metres out. There's 2 minutes to play. I think we're about to hear some glory as Godwin takes their kick. Godwin, it's a big kick. It's down to the 30, but Willamette, he's just about on his feet himself, but he's got just enough to step past Flynn. Flynn getting back into position. So much running, so much tackling for a man who's normally so good in attack. I think Flynn's lost.
That ends the game.
Again. I don't think Canberra are going to touch this ball again. Kevin Dixon. I think Riley Flynn's lost a bit of confidence in his defensive line because he keeps running up into it. As Freeburn breaks the line, it's Riley Flynn who has to make the tackle. It's almost like he can't decide whether he wants to be in the line to be an extra man or as Cologne, he's absolutely belted. I'm pretty sure that's Barnes. That's almost as good as a consolation try anyway. But as we count down 3, 2, 1, and there's the siren. South Sydney 10, have a beat. Canberra Raiders 6. Danny, what's your takeaway so far?
Yeah, I think both teams, it was a very defensive-minded match. They went neck and neck pretty much all the game, and the Rabbits just had enough to get that final try and seal the game. As we'll go on to look at some of the stats here, and I'll let you take this away.
Yeah, very error-ridden game, very penalty-ridden game. 17 errors. I mean, that's a lot between the two teams, but Canberra made more of them. Very low completion rate. And Canberra just did not have enough of the ball to win. 42%. It's really hard to win from there. And you just see that in the stats. They had to make 60 more tackles. They missed another 14. And I think that might be the lowest cumulative metres gain I've seen in an SRL 2.0 game. 990 for the Rabbitohs versus 918 for the Raiders. Ryan Willamette, fairly well-deserved man of the match. Another 95 metres in the second half. 5 line breaks and scored the winning try. Danny, let's take it to the players. All right, Rabbitohs. Corey Bell went off at half-time. I think he came back. Paulus, 122 metres. Great metres gained. 21 tackles, only 2 missed. Mike Tyson, absolute beast in attack as well in limited minutes. Alo made good metres, as did... Oh, Murray didn't. He had a bit of a quiet one, actually. But Manning barely touched the ball. The half of Meriton, worth taking a look at. 12 tackles, missed 3. That's decent for a half. 2 and with the boot. Luka Magic, first try scorer for the game, 94 metres, didn't add many in the second half. Kevin Dixon made so many metres off what felt like a lot of runs and maybe too many runs, only the 1 line break. Willamette, the man himself, probably deserves a little bit of a shout out. He only had to make 8 tackles. I think that'll be an interesting compare and contrast to Riley Flynn when we get around to there. Coleman.
Riley Flynn had 7 more at halftime.
Well, that he did. Or he had 13, so 5 more at halftime.
Yeah.
Scored 1 try, put on the other Willamette. Nearly rude his missed shot at goal, but made up for it at the death. Coleman was great with the 356 kick metres, but had an error to go with it and set up Willamette's try. Walmsley, very big in defence. Felt like he was actually bigger than he ended up being in attack. So that's an interesting bit. He only made 77 metres. Danny, would you like to take us through the Raiders?
Yeah, so we have Luke Thompson, 97 metres. He was pretty solid all around. His kicking metres were pretty good. He was pretty solid in defence. Tim James, 28 tackles, 3 missed. He was pretty solid as well. And Nicholas Aoife, 34, none missed. We'll look at Mitch Barnes, nearly 200 metres, 31 tackles, only 4 missed, 2 line breaks, 3 errors is pretty shocking. But he also had that 100-meter try, and that was one of the best tries I've seen so far in the SRL 2.0. So we'll look down here a bit. Lucas Aid, I mean, he just didn't really have much of the ball. When he had it, he looked pretty dangerous, but other than that, couldn't really get into the game whole heap. Riley Flynn sort of redeemed himself a bit, you could say, in this half. He got 100 more meters, but 19 tackles, 6 missed. He had to attempt 25 tackles, and he only had 2 line breaks as well. I mean, you just can't really have that from your forwards and expect, from your fullback and expect to win games like this. Irby Farnworth was pretty solid as well, 164 meters, 23 tackles. And I think that wraps it up. Yeah, definitely.
Well, both teams had their absolute best crack at snatching defeat from the jaws of victory, but South Sydney have come up on top here, 10-6. That's all we have time for this evening, and brings your Monday night football to a close. Thanks very much, and join us tomorrow.